Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Commander Lendat here with another video on DC Legends. Today guys, I'm going to be talking to you about some PvP tips, some of the things that I do on PvP. I just want to let you know beforehand, this is my opinion as to what I do, and not necessarily apply to every team configuration that you might have. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So first of all, I want to talk about attack order and the way that I do it. Personally guys, I focus on the biggest threats first. Meaning the DPS characters, attackers that have big AoE attacks, for example, Deadshot, I focus on right away if I see him on the opposing team. The same thing for the Cape Crusader Batman. I try to take him out, usually right after Deadshot if he happens to be in the enemy team. Of course, we are very familiar with Striker Wonder Woman, and she usually tends to be either my second or third priority when I attack. But anyway, so those are just a few. Grundy, of course, being another one. Green Arrow. In an Assault Warsuit, Lex Luthor, that he usually also takes priority for me, either first or second, again, depending on the team configuration. Let's say, for example, the team which I've been facing a lot of lately, it's Deadshot, AW Lex Luthor, Castaway Green Arrow, and Wonder Woman. Normally I would go for Deadshot first and Lex Luthor second, and I would leave Green Arrow and then Wonder Woman for last, and those two depends on which is the one that's doing the most damage to my team. So that's the way I do it guys. As far as the order goes, I take the biggest threat out first. Of course, there's always variations. If there's a character that's being really annoying, even though they're not doing a lot of damage, like a Zatanna who's healing the team and basically undoing everything that you've done, then I try to take her out like second after taking out the big DPS character that they have. Now, as far as my team configuration, and this is not a video on team configurations, but I kind of want to talk about the one that I'm using right now. It highly depends on your roster and the way that you play. For me, I'm very tactical, so I try to use, I bring 2 DPS characters, 1 support character, and with light damage, and obviously a full healer, which in this case, obviously is Zatanna, which is the only full healer or that I consider to be a true healer in the game. Anyway, you're looking at my team right now that I use for PvP. I am working on some other characters. I'm not going to talk about those right now. So as you can see, I have Green Lantern, I have Batman, the Cape Crusader, Zatanna, and I'm using Green Arrow Castaway because he, for me, the way that I have him set up so far, he does good DPS, and he also has that 10% chance, I'm sorry, 50% chance to take 10% of the turn meter for the opposing team, which makes them act less. So anyway, that's my team right now. I was using Deadshot, but I removed him for to put Green Arrow in his place. But anyway, that's what I'm using right now, and so far I'm having some great results. And we might take this into combat here in a minute to kind of take a look at how they work together. Another thing is the order to use your powers. And again, guys, everything I'm saying, it's highly depending on your strategy. For me personally, I try to start with a big hit right off the bat. Again, depending on what team it is. So when I had Deadshot, I would use Bounty Shot. Now that I have Castaway Green Arrow, I usually start with his multi-shot to immediately take a good chunk of their health out. At the very least, it does about 1,000 damage more on a crit. And then, of course, it takes away that 10% turn meter, which allows my characters to most of the time go before the enemy team. So then what I do after that, it highly depends. Usually Batman goes next, so depending on, again, the team, I would use Grapnel Kick right away, or I would just then use Smoke Bomb to use Grapnel Kick on round 2. I always open up with a shield for Green Lantern, and Zatanna depends on what's going on. If my team has taken a lot of damage, then I heal. If usually that doesn't happen, then I just use her basic attack. And if somebody has buffed, then I would use then her third ability, the one that takes away the buffs, which the name escapes me right now, so I apologize for that. Anyway, so that's what I do in terms of powers, and of course, after that first two rounds, usually then you assess the situation and you adjust accordingly to what's going on, depending on the health of your characters, the opponent's health, and the turn order and how things are progressing in it. Let's go ahead and get into a match, and I'll talk about a few more things. Let's go ahead and choose this level 39 here at the bottom. It has a +9, and we're going to see in action some of the things that I do, and we're going to talk about a few more things that I want to talk about before we close this video. So one thing also that you need to keep in mind, these are more of the tips that I want to talk about aside from the turn order. For example, you need to learn the AI's pattern. The AI usually follows the same pattern when they're using their superpowers. So you want to learn that, because that way it'll help you plan your next move. For example, if you take a look now, Striker Wonder Woman usually opens up with her AoE attack. That's very normal, so you should be prepared for a big hit. Right now we haven't taken that much damage and we're not too badly debuffed, so we're just going to go ahead and use Zatanna's basic attack. As you can see, the enemy Zatanna already she undid everything that I just did. So we're going to use Trick Shot for Green Arrow. We're going to use Grapnel Kick, give a big hit to Deadshot. And this Deadshot has a lot of health because usually it takes him to the yellow, if not to the red mark. So we're going to stun him with Green Lantern. And then, as you can see, my team is more of the slow but steady kind of progression, because I tried an Alpha Strike team, and really, guys, I was after a certain rank, I was just getting crushed. So I changed my strategy to this. Anyway, so learn the pattern of the AI. Another thing that is highly important is you need to be flexible. You need to be able to adjust. As you can see, I just made a mistake there because I was talking as I was trying to play. And instead of hitting Deadshot, I hit Harley Quinn, which again, actually this goes straight to this point that I was talking about, and that is that if you make a mistake, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to lose. Again, that's where you need to be able to adjust to what you did wrong, or what the AI is doing that might be slightly different than what you have planned for. So that's a very important thing. So I guess this right here is a perfect example of having to adjust to my situation, which, as you can see, pretty much I'm using the same powers in the same order as I go along. Once the big superpower comes off of cooldown, I usually use that power right away. That's not always the case. Again, you need to learn to be flexible. I think overall, guys, the main advice that I will tell you is that just relax and have fun. If you're feeling stressed because of PvP, I would highly recommend that you just turn off the game for a few minutes, if not a few hours. Go ahead and have some fun, relax, and come back to it with a fresh mind. Because honestly, guys, you're supposed to just have fun in this game and enjoy it. And as you can see, look, right now there's only 2 characters left on the opposing team. Yes, Zatanna is pretty hurt, but she has a shield, so she should be able to survive. And then the Green Arrow is about half health, about 50% health, but he also should be able to survive. So now we're going to focus on Striker Wonder Woman, and we're going to take her down. As you can see, Zatanna is hanging on. She's not dead yet, but we took out Wonder Woman. Right there I made another mistake. I should have just attacked, but instead I put up a shield. Usually, guys, with Green Lantern, I try to keep the shield up, which is probably why I did that while I was talking, doing the running commentary as I am trying to record. But we're not in trouble. As you can see, we won that match pretty easily. And guys, I've even won matches against people that have a team that is about over 1,000 points of power over my team. And I've been able to win those matches. Not easily, I'm not gonna lie, but I've been able to win those matches with at least 2 characters alive. So that to me is a pretty good win. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree with my thoughts? Comment below, let me know, or tweet me at CommanderLandat on Twitter, and let us continue the conversation on PvP. Let the community know what things do you do that work for you, what is your team composition, and what you've been doing. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe so that you don't miss out on all the great content that we'll be bringing you in the future. And as always, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.